I like this lady here. She is the knitting cult lady, and she is anti-Trump. And it is good to have people that hold our politicians accountable. It really is. No matter what side of the aisle you're on, I think that you need to have both sides accountable. The problem with a lot of these people is they don't have their own side accountable. They don't. I'm not talking about her. I don't know her. I just started watching her recently. But you don't point out the narcissists and the psychopaths in your own Democrat Party. You don't point this out. You don't point out your own people that keep voting these people in. She goes, people need to vote locally. Okay, well, it doesn't matter because uh, let's just take my small city. You, they keep voting in Democrats, and they keep voting in Democrats that are narcissist mayors all the time. People who have no reason to be a narcissist in a small ass city. Why are you so narcissist? There's nothing going on. Why do you need to be a control freak, a megalomaniac? Why do you have to do this? Why do you have to control when the splash pads get open? Why do people have to argue with you and flood your phone lines as to why the splash pads for the kids were not open when it was super, super hot? Why do we have to play these games? Right? Call out the narcissists in the Democrat Party as well too. This is what I'm talking about. Remember Andrew Cuomo? Remember that guy? Remember that guy? That guy was and is the ultimate narcissist. This is who he is. This guy ruled with an iron fist. He didn't want to hear anything. He acted just like a king. You couldn't say anything to him. And he was universally loathed. Outside of New York City, we couldn't stand this guy. And now here he is running for mayor of New York City, right? He was the governor of New York State, and he left in disgrace, and then now he's running for the mayor of New York City, and he's still getting the same comments. Why don't you go away, you loser, you narcissist? You know what he did? I mean, I never voted for him once at all. He was running against Zephyr Teachow. I would never forget her. I think she was a professor or something. Very intelligent woman. And I remember they had like a gay parade or St. Patrick. It was some kind of parade in New York City. She was running against him, and she goes, "Hello, Mr. Governor. How are you?" She tried to shake his hand, and he totally ignored her, and he kept on walking. This is the kind of people that keep getting into office because the people keep voting for people like him. It doesn't matter. People will sit here and go on about Trump. What about the narcissists in the Democrat Party? What about the liars in the Democrat Party? What about the thieves? What about Tiffany Henyard? Isn't she a Democrat? What about that? Right? Because all these different channels, what they do is, I haven't gotten into her body of work, but they make their bread and bones, or whatever you would call it. They make their soup and bread by nonstop talking about Donald Trump. But you refuse to talk about the Donald Trumps in the Democrat Party. You refuse to talk about the narcissists. You refuse to talk about the Democrat mayors all over the country who are giving themselves $100,000 trucks on the taxpayer money. You refuse to talk about that. Why do y'all refuse to talk about that? This is why we say that you have Trump derangement syndrome. I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about in general. Because you refuse to talk about the people in your party that are doing the same thing. Why don't you talk about how Gavin Newsom has destroyed California? Why don't you talk about that? Why don't you talk about that? Why don't you talk about that? Right? And how they are setting him up to run for president. A man that destroyed his state, and they are setting him up to be the president of the United States of America. Why are y'all not talking about that? I can't stand partisan bullshit on both sides. I really don't. I can't stand the Republicans who can't call out the Republicans that are bad actors. I can't stand this. I can't stand the Democrats who refuse to call out other Democrats that are bad actors. I can't stand this. And as far as I see, the way I see it, from all the information I gather, the reason why the government is shut down is because of Chuck Schumer is holding everything up. The reason why the government is shut down, it's because the Democrats want all of this pork that they refuse to let go. You know, and then Democrats will get in the comment section and say, "Well, that's not true. That's not how it works." But they don't tell you anything. They just love to play deflection. Just like Speaker, what is his name? I forget his name. He said that they want all this stuff, like $1 million, to be given to this African nation to study LGBT issues. Why are they still doing this? Why? $1 million to study LGBT issues in Africa. Is this not money laundering? And even if this is a real program, why are they doing this? Why shouldn't all of this nonsense stop by now? Why aren't the American people angry about this? It's easy to make a video a day being angry about Trump. It really is. Let's make a video a day about how the whole entire system is not serving you. It's not serving me. It's not serving anybody. Why are they still having these programs overseas when Americans are fucking starving? Can anybody answer that question? Right? Why do we have military bases all around the world and Americans are starving? Why is this going on? Why don't we have affordable housing in America? Why do Israelis have free health care and Americans don't? Paid for by US taxpayer money. Trump derangement syndrome is too damn easy. It's a lazy way to make videos. It really is. Let's talk about the whole entire system that's failing us all. Let's talk about that.